everybody. I'm so happy to be here, especially because I get to miss school. And I'm excited to share my story. Okay, first we're going to talk about my family and my early years, then my legs, all my legs, and the surgery that I had. Then just my love for sports, my living with one leg and the challenges I face, and my goals in giving back. He looks to me, I don't really remember much, but I look like a pretty happy and sleepy baby. And I have a great family. They support me so much. The people in that picture right there, not even half of my family. I have a huge family, and it takes a village to raise a child, and they're an amazing village. And then when my mom and dad had me, people would be staring at me, and they would get offended and say, "Why are they staring at my little boy?" And then they talked to a guy named Danny Gabriel, who's missing an arm, and they asked him, "How do you deal with staring?" He says, "If someone doesn't stare at me, I think they're weird. Why wouldn't you stare at someone that's missing an arm, missing a leg, has a big ear, has a big nose, has beautiful eyes? Everybody stares at everybody." And that really changed the perspective for my mom and dad. And they taught me to be like that. And it's one thing when you stare at me and you come up and ask me what happened, but it's another thing when you're pointing and whispering, and that doesn't feel good. It doesn't. Crazy for sports. I was a very active little guy, jumping into a lake, playing basketball, and my first word was ball because I love to play with balls so much. And I learned to count by twos before I learned to count by ones from watching so much basketball and Laker games. At Trainer's Hospital, I was fitted for my first leg at 11 months old. These are some of the legs right here, my first legs, right there. And I was walking by 12 months. It was a great experience for me because I got to meet so many kids that were like me, and I had great prosthetists, Robert and Tony. And as you can see, I get a leg every time I grow a little bit. I grow more, I get another leg, another leg, another leg, another leg. So it's like the same thing when you get a new shoe, I get a new leg. I was 2.5 years old when I had my surgery in Boston, and I was 15 hours under a microscope, trying to get the toe off my foot and connecting all the arteries and tendons and nerves so I can use it as a finger. And I was in Boston Children's Hospital for a whole week. My dog Yazzie, in the top right corner picture up there, stayed with me the whole time. She's a service dog, so she was allowed in the recovery room, and she went on a hunger strike because she was so nervous while I was in surgery. And she was allowed in there. She's super sweet, and she would cuddle in bed with me. Yes. The Shift the Hanger Clinic. Okay. What's different between this leg and this leg? What's the most important difference? Yeah, in the turkey shirt. Yeah.
So the other part, it's longer, and the first one looks more like a regular leg, and the second looks different from the other one.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try something else. That doesn't bend. Okay. And okay, so now what's the difference? Yeah.
It bends.
Yes, that's the difference. So with this leg, I kept having to kick it around like that when I was walking at Shriners. But now once I went to Hanger, they gave me a leg that has a knee. So I can walk in a normal walking formation. And when you press on the heel, it's locked. And when you move over towards the toe, it bends. So it gives you a walking formation. And I learned from on the cheetah leg. This is actually my cheetah leg right here. And it's curved like the back leg of a cheetah. So that's why it's called a cheetah leg. And it's very bouncy, and it's mostly used for running. And cool custom legs. As you can see, you get to customize your own kind of socket right here, so you can put any kind of logos, and they take a shirt and they just laminate it on. Lakers. I got my first Lakers suit at 18 months old, and I still love the Lakers, even though they're not very good right now. And a couple years ago, I was really lucky, and I got to go to the Lakers practice and meet Kobe and Frech. Pau Gasol, as you know, is my favorite player. But now that he's off the Lakers, he's on the Bulls, I'm sort of a Bulls fan now. And the day Pau signed with the Bulls, right before he got onto the plane, he called me to make sure that I was okay, that he was leaving, and that I would be a Bulls fan. More sports. I love all sports, and I love new challenges too. And the high ropes course was a great challenge for me. I had to climb up like a 30-foot pole and tightrope 100 feet to climb down another 30-foot pole. But once, when I was playing football, I was on the quarterback, so I did a QB sneak. I'm running with the ball. And has your leg ever fallen off before? Because mine has. And I was running with the ball, and it just flew off. I tried to hop to the end zone, but the ref blew the whistle, so I couldn't really go anywhere. I love track and field, and I love all the events in it. I love most of the events. But my top three are probably the 100 meter, the 200 meter, and the long jump. And then that guy in the USA shirt right there, that's Coach Asher. He's my track coach. He trains me the same way he trains the college athletes and his professional athletes. It is very tiring. I am pooped by the end of it. Competitions. Me and my dad have traveled the last couple years to go around the United States and go to different track and field events. We went to the Endeavor Games in Oklahoma, the Desert Challenge Games in Arizona, and the National Junior Disability Championships in Iowa. And my family's like, why are we traveling to all these events? Why do we have to go all the way out to Iowa just to do the National Junior Championships? Why do we have to go to Oklahoma just to do some track and field meet? Why don't we do it here? So that's what we're doing. We're making a track and field event here called the Angel City Games. It's in LA, June 19th through 20th, UCLA, Drake Stadium. All you guys are welcome. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be food, everything. There's going to be a kids zone, so hope you guys can come. Living with one leg. Some sports are very challenging for me, including skiing, ice skating, rollerblading, skateboarding, and the reason is I don't have a foot or an ankle. Every time I put on an ice skate, my right leg's just going ahead of me like, oh, I can do this, and my left leg's just wandering off. I have no control of the bottom part because I don't have a knee, so I only can control this part. I can move it side to side, but I cannot control the bottom part. And then hopping. Every time I get home, I hop. Once I take off my leg, I have to hop. I mean, there's no walking on one leg, so I have to hop. It's like every time you take off your shoes, you have to hop around. And then breaking legs. The one reason I am not wearing that leg is because I broke it. I mean, do you guys break a leg every month? Well, I break the leg every month. And I was almost not about to wear this leg because my mom drove over it with her car. As you can see, I just trashed these parts. I mean, like this foot, this, you push so hard on it that it breaks. And then getting sad. Sometimes I get sad and I ask God for another leg. I'm like, why was I born like this? Why did this happen to me? But then I have to think, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I can't change it, so I just got to make the best out of it. Some of my goals. My short-term goal is probably to learn to bike and snowboard. Then my long-term, maybe the Paralympics, the Olympics, probably the NBA, hopefully. And then I just want to inspire kids to be active. And then giving back. Me and my family, we raise money for different charities. One of the charities happens to be the Challenged Athletes Foundation, where they give grants to kids and adults who have disabilities, and they just help them get into sports. And then mentoring kids. As you can see, I love to hang out with the little guys and talk with them and teach them new things. My final thoughts. After hearing my story, I hope you share my belief that being different is okay. I also hope you are able to overcome your own challenges and achieve your dreams. As I like to say, make it happen.
if you have a question, raise your hand, and if Ezra calls on you, please stand up and say your question nice and loud, okay?
Yeah, you in the purple shirt.
How do you put your prosthetic leg on the skis?
Oh. That's actually a really good question. I was young with that, so I don't really remember. If anything, he would be able to answer that one.
We used your walking leg and put it in the ski.
Oh yeah, we used this leg and we would just kind of put it in the boot.
But it didn't work very well.
It didn't work. Yes, you in the blue.
Do you still see Powell?
Oh yeah, I do. I still text him a lot. He's really sweet. Hopefully I can go and see him soon. Yeah, you and the Lakers shirt. Yeah.
How does the leg that locks, how does it work?
This leg? How do I get it on?
How does it lock?
I don't know. I mean, when you press on the heel, it just I think locks the knee. And when you move over towards the toe, I have to be in a walking formation. It bends. So when you kick it out again like that, and then bends again. But I don't walk like that with this leg. It's easier to do when it's on and you're walking. You.
How do you get the leg on?
Okay, so I have something called a liner.
Yeah, you want to do it?
Okay, sure. I have something called a liner that goes over my leg, and I have a strap, and there's a little hole down there, and I take the strap, and I put it into the hole. You have to line it up, and then you have to put it, I just have to do it like that. Then you put it into the hole, and then once it's in, you put them over, and then you just pull it really tight, and then you put it through this, you pull it out, and you put it right back on.
We'll talk about the liner and winters.
Oh, and does anybody know the Dolphin Winter? The gel that they put on her is actually the same gel that I wear for this leg. The liner that I wear is the same gel that they put on Winter. Yeah, you.
Did you say the color of her shirt?
What?
Is your leg really special to you?
I guess. I mean, without it, I can't really walk, but I guess it's special to me. I mean, this one's special to me, because Pal signed it, so this one's pretty special. You in the way back.
I know you said, sometimes you ask for another leg, but if you could, would you go back and change everything?
Actually, I wouldn't. That's a great question. I would not. I like how I am. I mean, I get sometimes I get sad, but I don't think I would change how I am. Yeah. Yeah.
Did it hurt when they put your leg on?
Wait, when they did the surgery?
Yeah.
I was sleeping, but I bet if I was awake, it would hurt.
They put you to sleep before they do anything.
You little guy right there.
Do you sleep with it on?
That's a great question. No, I don't. I take it off when I go to sleep. You.
What does it feel like to have 2 fingers and a prosthetic leg?
I don't know. It just feels normal. I mean, you get used to it. I mean, sometimes I get like a rash on my leg and that hurts, but the 2 fingers, it just feels normal. Because you can't pick up anything with 1 finger. It's hard to pick up stuff, but with 2 fingers, it's easy to pick up stuff. You in the blue.
Do you like Carlos Boozer? Because he got traded.
I guess I like Carlos Boozer. He's a good rebounder. Yeah, you.
Is your dog still alive?
Oh yeah, she is. Now we're gonna get her a friend. You're right there.
Have you ever met Winter?
What? No, I haven't. All his fault. I haven't. Yeah, you.
Instead of getting a new leg, can you like adjust it so like you make it longer?
Yeah, actually, you're right. That's great. That's a good question. You can make it longer, but sometimes I don't come in for a while. So every time it's like I have so much space to grow. So it depends on how much I grow. If I have to get a new leg, or if I can just keep the one that I have and they can adjust it.
You outgrow the socket.
And I grow the socket right here. I sometimes outgrow that too. Yeah. I use this leg more. This is my walking leg, so it's my everyday leg. This is the leg that I'm wearing right now is just my running leg. Just because this leg, the foot's broken, so I can't walk on it, or else the foot will break. You and the Packers. No, Packers.
Al Gasol still your favorite basketball player?
Yes, he is. You.
How old were you when you started playing basketball?
I don't know. How old was
18 months you were shooting hoops
18 months
inside.
I was like shooting hoop. Maybe like a year-ish?
Yeah.
A year? You and the blue.
Can you put the Pau Gasol part onto the middle running leg or?
I could do that. I'm framing that. But also, my leg's grown since then, so I don't think it'll fit there. I mean,
Wouldn't be comfortable.
it won't be comfortable because you have to get a new socket. So that socket's from like 5 years ago, so I don't know if that'll fit. You.
Did they like glue your toe to your hand or what?
I don't know if they glued it. I hope not. I don't know. Maybe they like, I'm not a surgeon, but maybe they like connected the nerves and the art. I have no clue.
Maybe they sewed it
So
together.
explain you were born with the one thing.
So I was born with one finger on this hand, and then my leg came in here. I had like a full leg, but it was like this, and it was stuck like this. And so they removed the part that was like twisted, and they took a big toe and they put it here. And I guess they had to like connect all the nerves and the arteries. You in the back. Like straight? Yeah. Yes, it has. Every time I get into like a pool or something with it on, it locks.
A what?
Yeah, like a pool. If I get into, or like I go into the ocean, it locks up. Because there's oil in there, and the oil makes the boats like run. So if I go into the ocean and the oil all goes out, or if I go into sand and the sand gets stuck to the oil, then it'll just lock up. So I can't. But then we just go to the place and they just blow dry it out.
Okay, guys, we can take 2 more questions, okay?
Okay. You.
Which leg do you use for football?
I use this leg. This is my leg that I use for football. And I don't know. You.
Who inspires you the most?
That's a really good question. Maybe this guy named Blake Leeper. He's a double amputee. He's gonna probably go to the Olympics this year. Him, Pow. I don't know. I really don't. That's a really good question. He's making me think. Used to be Oscar Pistorius. Wow, that's a really good question. I don't know. Maybe like I don't know. Like Leaper. That's it. Maybe in Powell.
Fantastic. All right, guys, one more big round of applause for our guests today. At this time, please look to your teacher to be dismissed.